We begin here. Alleged serial rapist Moloko has abandoned his bail application. He appeared briefly today in Tzaneen this morning. In his first appearance yesterday, a charge of attempted murder was added to the case. The 33-year-old is accused of 7 counts of rape and robbery committed between 2015 and 2016. The National Prosecuting Authority says during his arrest for the 7 rapes last week, Moloko was out on 2,000 rand bail for allegedly raping a 15-year-old girl in 2021. eNCA reporter Moloko Moloto joins me now live from Polokwane. Thank you so much for your time, Moloko. Perhaps just speak to us about what transpired in court today, a second appearance.
Hello, Heidi. Well, we are in Gapane. This is a village just outside Tzaneen. And the court really didn't take that long. His appearance was also very brief today. He actually walked in wearing the very same T-shirt he was wearing yesterday when he first made his first appearance in this particular magistrate's court. And he immediately indicated that he would require the services of Legal Aid South Africa. And luckily, the attorney from Legal Aid South Africa was present in the courtroom, and he was made in to make that application. And he immediately instructed the legal aid attorney who represents him that he wants to abandon bail. Now, the acting magistrate, Ntombi Mavundla, then wanted to know if indeed he was sure about his decision and wanted confirmation. And Mr. Moloko confirmed to the presiding officer that indeed he is abandoning his bail application, and he did not provide any reasons as to why he was abandoning his bail. So he was then told that he will be back in the very same Bolobedu Magistrates Court in Gapane on the 12th of February for further investigation. Heidi, you will remember that this man is appearing in the Bolobedu Magistrates Court today, and he appeared yesterday as well, specifically with regard to the rape of 2 of the 7 women he allegedly raped between 2015 and 2016. Now, with regard to his appearance for the other 5, he made his first appearance in the town of Tzaneen, which is a different magisterial jurisdiction. This is because those rapes allegedly happened under those 2 different magisterial jurisdictions. So a decision will therefore be taken as to whether, when he goes on trial, these matters will be heard under one court. But you did mention in your intro that the National Prosecuting Authority says that when he was arrested last week, he actually was out on bail. This, I must point out, the NPA did not necessarily mention in court. They mentioned it to us as eNCA to say that he was out on bail for the rape of a 15-year-old schoolgirl in Ramutupa village. This happened in 2021. So he was released on bail of 2,000 rand, and as we speak, that case is still pending, and he now faces these 7 cases. And in addition, yesterday, the court heard that the state was adding an additional case of attempted murder, all because one of the 7 victims was actually hacked with a panga. So they believe that he deserves an attempted charge.
Sure, some shocking details coming out of that. I mean, a panga. Moloko, perhaps just tell us about what happens now. You have indicated that he has abandoned his bail application, reasons unknown, but possibly because there might have been some community unrest and backlash because of the charges that he faces. But what happens now? And I'm also curious to know, Moloko, if any family members, be it his family or families of the victims, were present in court today.
Well, just like yesterday, there was a young woman here. She says she is 19. She tells me that she is the friend of Mr. Moloko. And she was here yesterday to support him. Also today she was here to support him, but she was not willing to speak to us on record. However, I did not get to see the direct family members both yesterday and today, and I must point out that in the courtroom but also outside the court precinct there was really no one who had come out in large numbers. There were no number of people who either came here to support or to oppose or to vent out or express their unhappiness. I mean, in the courtroom today I counted less than 5 people in the gallery itself, and that included even some of the uniformed police officers. So that already tells you that this case did not seem to raise any reaction that much from the community. But what he did as he was walking onto the courtroom towards the witness stand, I saw him winking with his eye at one of the people at the back, and I looked back. I could only see one police officer there and another gentleman and the very young woman that I'm talking to. I was not aware as to exactly who he was winking at, and that was it really, until he then had to say that he's abandoning his bail application. But as I said, in the Bolobedu Magistrates Court today and yesterday, he was appearing in connection with the rape of the 2 of the 7 women. So he is now back in court. However, he will be appearing in the neighboring Tzaneen Magistrates Court. This is on Friday, and there it is in connection with the rape of 5 of the 7. So I'm not too sure whether on Friday he would also abandon bail in that particular magistrate's court, or whether he will surprise us and say that he wants to be released. Of course, all that we wait to see what his action will be when he makes that appearance in the Tzaneen Magistrates Court.
Interesting demeanor of the accused. Just very lastly, Moloko, perhaps speak to us about those additional charges that Sioka faces, as well as the current charges that he faces in that court. Yeah.
So according to the police, his modus operandi when he was allegedly raping these women, many of them were hitchhiking in the small town of Tzaneen, going to areas such as Phalaborwa or even Giyani. So he would target such, and he would drag some of them onto the nearby bush, and he would rape them, and he would also rob them. That is why, in addition to the rape charges, he faces other charges of robbery. Now, in the case of one victim whom we cannot obviously name, but her name was mentioned in court, she was then hacked. The allegation is that he hacked her with a panga. We don't know whether she was resisting or whether he perhaps knew that she could recognize her. We don't know the reasons really, but the evidence is that he hacked her with a machete or a panga, and yesterday the state decided that it would add that charge, and it has to be attempted murder, as much as we don't know the extent of the injuries of that particular victim. Of course, all this information we expect that when he goes on trial, even the witnesses who perhaps would have the courage to stand in the witness box to give their evidence, all those details we expect that they would be revealed when he goes on trial. We don't know yet as to when he will be going on trial. Heidi?
Thank you so much for that update. Some real gruesome details coming out already. One can imagine what could possibly come out during the trial. Thank you so much for that update. That's eNCA reporter Moloko Moloto out in Polokwane.